All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all had a good day. Hope you guys are having a good night so far. I wanted to check out this video mainly for myself, but I'm sure there's some of you who are going to appreciate this as well. This is a video from Secret Base, and it's called This Double Overtime Playoff Thriller Deserves a Deep Rewind. And I see the Suns and the Spurs here, and this is from the Duncan versus Nash era, and I know exactly what this is, and this is kind of a painful one for me, but I figure we should do let's check out the deep dive associated with this. This is a relatively new video from Secret Base, and yeah, I want to see what their take is on this, because as a Suns fan, this was kind of some BS for us. This was our chance at a championship, the way that we see it here. Like we feel like we got screwed over here. So I'm not going to do a super long intro talking about it, because we're going to cover everything as it happens. I'm going to link the original video from Secret Base down below if you guys want to check it out. Great content, you guys know that. Very cool sports channel. And yeah, everybody else, please leave a like to this video. I appreciate you guys every time. We are on the road to 50K subs. I never thought I'd say something as crazy as that, but we are. Here we are. We're climbing up the mountain, everybody. You know, we didn't take the helicopter to the top of the mountain like Stockton says, but we're slowly grinding and climbing up this mountain. But anyways, thank you all very much. You all know I appreciate you. And yeah, let's get right to this. All right, here we go.
It's April 19th, 2008. We're in San Antonio for the opening round matchup between the hometown Spurs and visiting Phoenix Suns. You couldn't ask for a more thrilling game one. And no, your eyes aren't deceiving you. We're in double overtime. Tied at 1:15 with little time to play, these Spurs fans clinging on to the edge of their seats are hoping things can end on this possession. If not, we're in store for another quarter of extra hoops. But before we see what comes next, how the hell did the game even reach this point? To find out, let's rewind. This episode of Rewinder is presented by Burger King.
Burger King.
Melts are back and better than ever. Don't miss out on the classic, bacon, and new Philly melt. Available now at BK.
Can I get sponsored by BK?
Tied at 1:15 in double OT maybe isn't the most ideal spot to be in, but damn are the Suns close to stealing this game one on the road. A win here would not only set the tone for the series, but it'll be Phoenix's first strike at revenge against their known enemy. This is the 5th time this decade that the Spurs and Suns have met in the postseason.
Yeah, and these two hurt a lot.
And San Antonio has smoked Phoenix nearly every time.
Yeah.
Getting packed up year after year by the same team is a trash feeling, and last season's semifinal loss hit even harder. In a testy 6-game series that many journalists dubbed as the real NBA Finals, the Suns kinda got screwed on multiple occasions. Down a point late in game one, star point guard Steve Nash, who had been cooking all matchup, had to hit the bench with his nose gushing blood following a nasty headbutt. After getting bandaged up, Nash fought through the pain, keeping his team in contention, but ultimately had to watch his squad lose from the sideline. After splitting the next two, the turning point came in Game 4. Late in that matchup, Spurs forward Robert Horry caught Nash with a nasty hip check, and chaos ensued, notably with Phoenix players Amari Stoudemire and Boris Diaw clearing the bench. Phoenix got the win and tied the series, but entered Game 5 without two of their key players, as Stoudemire and Diaw got suspended for their actions in the previous game.
Yeah, and this was the Nash-Stoudemire duo era at their peak. So that's like if the Utah Jazz in the 90s lost Karl Malone. Like, this is a big deal. This is no longer a fair game. Boris Diaw, he was pretty good too. Good kind of all-around player, but Stoudemire was the 1-2 punch. Him and Nash 1-2 punch.
The decision was extremely controversial, especially in a tight series. Media members were outraged over a pointless ruling in which Stoudemire and Diaw only tried to protect their teammate.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, the Suns still almost pulled off a win in a close Game 5.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Quick pause. For some context, Stoudemire and Diaw did not go out there to fight. Robert Ory checked Steve Nash into the box score area where the announcers are, and all they were doing were trying to check on him to make sure he's okay. But they left the bench, and that was enough for the NBA to suspend him. I disagree with that one still to this day, because there's always context. And when you understand the context and what they were actually doing and you watch the video footage, they didn't go out there throwing punches. They went out there to go check on their captain to make sure that he's okay. That should be allowed in a situation like that. It still hurts to this day.
But the damage had been done, and the Spurs won the series in 6 before going on to win the NBA Finals.
Yep.
A championship that journalists stand by could have just as easily gone to Phoenix if they weren't robbed against San Antonio. That series might have unfairly been taken away from Phoenix, but the team still had issues of their own. Since the 04-05 season, under head coach Mike D'Antoni, the Suns took the league by storm with a revolutionary fast-paced offense dubbed 7 seconds or less. The system was a massive success, but in the postseason, Phoenix couldn't simply outgun opponents, often getting exposed defensively, especially on the inside. Flaming out in the playoffs constantly called for a change. Phoenix entered this season with their roster mainly intact, plus the addition of veteran Grant Hill in the...
Man, I love Steve Kerr as a player, as a coach. Him stepping in here with the Suns did not go well. We got rid of Sean Marion, and we got Shaq. And, I mean, Shaq is cool. No diss to Shaq. He was still playing really good during that time. But you're going to take the run and gun Suns and add Shaquille O'Neal to it? Guess what? We weren't the run and gun Suns anymore. It still to this day never made any sense. It was fun to see Shaq. Like, I got to see Shaq more on the court that year than ever because I went to some Suns games. And he's fun to watch live. But we weren't winning. We weren't going to win. And it's not Shaq's fault. The vision wasn't there. You've got the slowest, biggest, giant man trying to fit into the fastest team in the league. I don't understand what the thought process was to this very day. Steve Kerr, the fuck, dude? You came in here, you did this, and then you ditched, and you started coaching. Like, what the hell did you do?
The offseason. But despite hitting February holding the best record in the conference, the team's defensive problems were still apparent. In an attempt to shore up their interior, new general manager Steve Kerr swung a blockbuster trade acquiring Shaquille O'Neal near the All-Star break. The move generated mixed reactions as their highly successful system relied on pace, and Shaq wasn't the type of dude to run the floor. Yet, it was that very same system and lack of defense that got Phoenix bounced from the playoffs often. Getting Shaq was a move aimed at the postseason to slow down big men in the paint like Spurs forward Tim Duncan. The Suns initially had growing pains fitting the big fella in the lineup, but once things got rolling, Shaq provided Phoenix with fresh versatility and re-energized the team. The Suns finished the year with 55 wins, earning the 6th seed in the loaded West. Experts believe the Suns could finally execute their revenge over the Spurs. Phoenix was just one game behind San Antonio, and they were the only Western Conference team with a winning record against the defending champs. Plus, with the addition of Shaq, Phoenix no longer got bullied down low. And for the majority of this opener, media members looked spot on. The Suns controlled the game for the first 3 quarters, leading by as many as 16, even with Shaq sitting early because of foul trouble. Phoenix didn't lose their lead until late in the 4th quarter, but found themselves right back on top, following a layup by Leandro Barbosa to put them up 3 with a little over a minute to play. After a few scoreless possessions, Spurs forward Michael Finley got himself free down low and drilled the tray with 15 seconds left to tie the game and ultimately send it to overtime.
That's an ex-Phoenix Sun sticking a knife in our heart.
And here we are in double OT. The Spurs clawed their way back and can close this thing out with a bucket, but none of it would be possible without this dude, Tim Duncan.
Oh, yeah.
Timmy has put on a vintage...
We had no answer for Tim Duncan.
...performance for most of this game, but the Spurs are here in another overtime because he pulled off the unexpected. Over the past decade, the Spurs as a franchise have been the epitome of success, largely thanks to their nonchalant superstar. Since entering the league in '97, Duncan has helped lead San Antonio to 4 championships, securing Finals MVP in 3 of them. Unlike Phoenix's fast-paced system, San Antonio ran their offense through Duncan's elite post game, working things inside out, surrounding him with snipers on the outside to knock down shots. Unfortunately for Phoenix, they witnessed Timmy's dominance up close and personal multiple times. The only series win the Suns got over the Spurs came in 2000 with Duncan out because of a knee injury. But in this year's matchup, Duncan was healthy and did his usual work in the paint. Post up back to the basket off one dribble, slight work. Spin move and finish with the left hand lay, too easy.
Big fundamental.
Duncan entered the fourth already with a double-double and didn't stop there. Down the stretch of the final quarter, Timmy played a key role in cutting into Phoenix's lead, knocking down shots and hitting the open man when he drew extra attention down low. As impressive as that was for Timmy, he fully put the team on his back during the first overtime period. Down 4 with a little under 3 minutes to play, the Suns and Spurs traded baskets, but Duncan kept San Antonio within striking distance and hit a tough runner over Shaq to bring the Spurs within 3 with a minute left to play. It was Duncan's 6th point of the period, and he hit nearly everything around the rim, but earlier, the Suns showed they weren't afraid of his outside shooting as they purposely sagged off him when he drilled an 18-footer on the previous shot.
Yeah, that's a big
Following
mistake.
turnovers on both sides within the final minute, San Antonio got the ball with 12 seconds to play, still in need of a 3 to stay alive. After a timeout, the Spurs inbounded the ball and worked it near the top of the key, driving toward the paint before kicking it out to Duncan wide open behind the arc.
What a brilliant play. Still to this day, what a brilliant play that was. Man, look how open he is. Look how open he is. It tricked our whole team. Let's watch it one more time.
After a timeout, the Spurs inbounded the ball and worked it near the top of the key, driving toward the paint before kicking it out to Duncan wide open behind the arc.
Yep. No one was used to guarding Tim Duncan out there at the 3 at this point. Why would you? Who would have thought he's going to take this shot?
Timmy isn't a 3-point shooter. The dude barely attempts them and is shooting 0% from deep this season. It's why Phoenix dared him to shoot earlier in overtime. With the rock, Duncan hesitated, pulled back, and fired a bomb
drilled it
to tie the game at 104 with 3 seconds to play.
Now, you better believe us Suns fans while we're watching this live, like we are arms in the air. What the hell? Well, of course that happens. Of course Tim Duncan hits a freaking 3 on us. Like, it's just, we were never, it was just like, it felt pre-written. Like, we're never going to beat the damn Spurs. It's never going to happen.
San Antonio would not be here without that unreal 3 from Duncan. He's dropped a 40 ball and is the main reason they're still alive, but I don't think he's gonna have the chance to close this thing out. With the clock running down, Phoenix has him doubled down low. San Antonio has to look to someone else. Well, this dude handling the ball and gunning toward the rim is Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, wild man.
What's his deal? The Spurs drafted Argentinian guard Manu Ginobili 57th overall in the 1999 draft. As an unknown prospect, announcers butchered the pronunciation of his name during San Antonio's selection.
Ginobili!
Shit, even Ginobili was shocked he got drafted.
Are you sure? He said.
San Antonio
Hold on. When Ginobili's name was called, he was sleeping, so he wasn't even watching the draft. And he was with the Argentine national team in the tournament in Brazil, unaware the draft was even taking place. His coach woke him up with the news. Are you sure? He said, at 21 years old. Oh man, that's so crazy.
Ginobili was shocked he got drafted. San Antonio wanted to keep their championship roster intact and stashed Manu overseas, where he balled out in the Italian league. When the Spurs brought him stateside in 2002, Ginobili came with hype, but his teammates, including Duncan, weren't ready to fully buy in.
Yeah.
Even worse, his head coach Greg Popovich initially wanted nothing to do with him. Pop ran a tight ship that emphasized order and discipline on the floor, which wasn't Manu's style.
No, he's
He
wild.
played to the beat of his drum, jacking up shots early and trying to make highlight plays. All things that infuriated Pop to the point where he believed Manu was uncoachable. Manu struggled transitioning to the NBA at first, but once Pop realized his chaotic playstyle could benefit the team, it all clicked. Manu mostly operated off the bench and became a consistent part of San Antonio's rotation, playing a crucial role in the franchise's championship runs. Several
For
teams
sure.
had issues containing Manu, but he always seemed to get off against the Suns. In 2005, he dropped a career-high 48 points on the road in Phoenix. In
Of
last
course he
season's
did.
playoff duel, he nearly dropped a triple-dub in San Antonio's closeout Game 6. Entering this season, San Antonio leaned on him even more. Manu played career-high minutes, and with the extra time on the floor, his stats ballooned across the board as he finished the season as the front-runner to win Sixth Man of the Year.
Oh,
In
easily.
today's game against Phoenix, Manu's numbers didn't pop off the page, but he found his spots at the cup. He catches teams off guard, playing at an awkward pace, slinking past defenders before turning on the jets and finishing with ease at the rim. It's Manu's quick on and off speed that drew two defenders toward the basket in that first overtime period, leaving Timmy wide open where he found him for the game-tying three.
Straight up, I hated Manu because of obviously the rivalry, but he's actually one of my favorite players of all time. The guy is just, he's all heart. He's just a crazy, crazy player. I've never seen anybody play like Manu Ginobili. There will only be one Manu Ginobili. He's one of those dudes. Yeah, very special player. And to be that unselfish, check his ego and come off the bench, knowing that was the best team, the best thing for the team. That's a game changer. He's a hell of a ball player. Shout out Manu Ginobili. You did great work, man.
While Duncan kept San Antonio alive, Manu took the reins in double OT. With the game tied at 112 with a little over a minute and a half to play, Manu hit his third bucket of the period, again flashing his quickness downhill, going right at Shaq to knock down a silky layup off the glass, giving San Antonio the lead.
Yeah, Shaq was in foul trouble.
Things nearly appeared to be over late when the Suns
Smart.
were forced to intentionally foul Spurs forward Brent Barry. He hit one of two free throws to extend San Antonio's lead to 3 with 19 to play. But following a timeout on the other end of the court, Phoenix drew up a play to find Nash in the corner where he nailed a crazy off-balance 3 to tie it up at 115 all. Which brings us here.
Yeah.
After a roller coaster game of mostly being in control, getting hit with a stunning 3, and appearing dead in the water late, the Suns can still strike their revenge if they get a stop here and send this to triple overtime. For the Spurs, none of this would be possible without Duncan carrying the team and draining a highly unlikely shot. But his hands are tied right now. To avoid a pivotal opening loss at home, San Antonio is turning to Ginobili, a dude who didn't fit the Spurs ethos at the point, but worked his way into a vital role. It could all come down to this.
Oh yeah, I know he was not the favorite back then with San Antonio. However, any of you guys San Antonio fans, chime in below. How do you feel about Ginobili these days? Like, how is it out there in Texas? Like, what do you guys say about Ginobili? Because I'm willing to bet it's nothing but like high praise. All right,
Welcome to a moment in history.
welcome to my pain.
To the basket, puts it up, banks it in with 1.8 remaining. Phoenix has no timeouts left. Inbound, Nash puts it up. It's over.
Yep.
The Spurs win in double overtime.
Yep. Oh, being a Suns fan is so fun.
Yo, thanks for watching this episode of Rewinder. Just want to take the time to give a special shout out to our top secret agents.
Now, shout
We
out to
also-
Burger King. All right, that's gonna do it on this one. Yeah, welcome to my pain. Welcome to my pain. This is just one of the many instances where we're so freaking close, so close. We're always so close to winning a damn title, and it just never happens over here. Oh boy, it's gonna be a rough season next year. It's been kind of nice being off season, because I have no live basketball to worry about. So I'm not watching Suns basketball right now and getting angry and disappointed at what I'm seeing on the screen. But this kind of brings me back. This was my favorite era of Suns basketball right here. And the second one would be the Charles Barkley led Phoenix Suns, but that didn't last very long. What we have going on now, I'm not a big fan of. I don't believe we have what it takes to win right now. I don't think we have the right formula, but hopefully I get proven wrong. All right, everyone, what were your memories about this? San Antonio fans, I'm talking to you as well, Suns fans, and just regular basketball fans. What are your memories of all of this? What are your memories of this rivalry? Do you remember this game? And man, shout out to so many players: Nash, Stoudemire, Matrix. Y'all were great. Even the big Shaq, you did your job out here. You did what you're supposed to do. Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, my God, Popovich. Y'all deserve everything you got. Y'all deserve, even if some things are questionable, y'all were just a great team. All right, I'm gonna leave on that before I get stuck on thinking about the Suns for too long here. Thank you everybody for watching. Check out Secret Base if you haven't. It's one of my favorite channels. And yeah, please leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. If you do, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the next one. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Tell your loved ones you love them. Be good to your people. And yeah, let's have some smiles. All right. Good night, everyone.